Average at Best Cornhole here. I have some truly unique bags here. These are bankroll by High Roller Bag Co. And what makes them truly unique is that they do have a herringbone pattern slow side, but this is not that traditional herringbone carpet we're used to. It's a little bit faster than that. And what else makes them unique is that the bag is constructed in a way that it's going to play like a more active, slower herringbone bag with that little bit of extra speed. Herringbone, it is a pattern. It's not a material. I know we call it a traditional herringbone, just plain old herringbone. This is different. I do believe this is the same that's on the NOLA Rex. I compared this set with my set of NOLA Rex pretty good, and the defining feature is that the herringbone pattern is really wide, and then it has a really small one, and then a really wide one. They're like alternated, and it does play about the same speed as those NOLA Rexes do. The fast side on this bag, this is the smooth side of Rave, or better commonly known as the Pro Sniper Viper fast side. Because of those materials, High Roller rates this bag with a 6 on the slow side and a 9 on the fast side. And this material definitely is a lot faster than that regular traditional herringbone carpet. They do have a medium template, but they are above medium for fullness. This bag really, I would say it's more fuller than it is anything else. And I think that's where that true uniqueness starts also, because the bag does have action, even though it is a little bit faster. How the bag's constructed with this fullness, it's what gives that action and that bounce. That action and bounce, it comes from the fill as well. It's not just the fullness. I'm going to say it's a mixed fill, but I do feel a lot of large round beads. There probably is some fillers, there's some flats mixed in there, but definitely primarily all larger round beads. And obviously, since it is a fuller bag, it's not going to be extremely floppy. In my opinion, a lot of round beads make the bags feel looser, but as far as flop, it's not an overly floppy bag at all. I would definitely classify it more fuller than floppy. And like I teased earlier, this bag, it has the possibilities of that traditional slower herringbone when you talk about activeness and bounce and the ability for the bag to roll. And I really think that's the highlight of it, because it is a little bit faster. So imagine that it's great for someone that wants all that stuff, but they think that regular herringbone is just a little too slow for them, and they don't like how it tends to hang up on the hole. Like, it doesn't have all that drip to it. Unfortunately, this bag, it's an advanced bag. So if you don't throw the flattest bag, if you're not looking for something to make all those shots, this bag's probably not going to be for you. I'm going to break the forgiveness down into like 2 separate things. If we're talking like kick and whatnot, sliding straight up the board, they're not that bad. I don't want to scare you away and say this bag is going to have like terrible kick on you, but there is the possibility that it is there because it is an active bag. So I think you have to understand that going into. Also, forgiveness, I think forgiveness around the hole. And like I said, these bags are super bouncy. So if you do land a little too close to the hole, there is the possibility that it could bounce over it. So there is really good things about that, because this bag is going to be super easy to roll. Since they have that little bit of extra speed, you will get some drip from these bags. And I also think that they do have that teeter-totter motion when you're discussing whole bodiness. Like if you keep the momentum going and it's not too much, like if it's starting to come to a stop at the hole, normally the bag could just fall in, kind of flip over on its side because of the backbone of this bag, because of the fullness. So you do have that. And also, when talking whole bodiness, I like to discuss, this bag is active, so you can shape your shots, and you can always make sure that you have this bag, all of its motion directed towards the hole if you got to, cut around something or roll over a pile of bags. Because of that bounce I'm talking about, I'm not going to brag about the collectability of these bags. I was able to figure it out a little bit. I think you have to land farther back on your collects, and let the bag settle a little bit so it doesn't bounce too much, whether it's bouncing off that bag or lifting up and bouncing over that bag. And also I found that if you're going for a hard collect and it's nose down and you land a little too close to the bag, you could get that flop thing where it just springs over and misses the collect there. The good thing is that I don't really think this is a bag that you're going to be trying to collect too much with, so it really wasn't a problem to me. The ones that I'm talking about were, I left the bag accidentally on the board that I didn't mean to, and I was trying to go for a crazy collect to grab it. And this is what I'm saying. This is an offensive dirty bag, and that's what it excelled at in my mind. I don't know if you're intentionally laying a blocker with this bag. I think you're using this bag to beat someone else's blocker, because you can run holes with it, especially with that little bit of extra speed, just make sure you're on target. But I think you use all the benefits of the bag to your advantage. And since it is bouncy, you can roll it, you can flop it, you can do all that. It is active, so you can cut it and you can get around things. But it's also really good, if there's bags sprinkled up on that board, use that bounce, like bumper it into stuff, because it is a little bit faster, so you're going to be able to get it moving. And instead of, always trying to completely avoid stuff, use those as bumpers and maybe bounce this bag around a couple times as you're directing it to the hole. And that's what I think is the best way to play this bag, is you're running holes, but you're using its ability to beat a bunch of stuff that's on the board to get to that hole. High Roller, they have a website. It's just highrollerbagco.com. That's where you're going to be able to find some of their series. There's also a Facebook page and the Facebook group, same name, High Roller Bag Co. I do not see this series listed on the website yet. I know it is a newer series for High Roller, so you might have to get on Facebook and inquire about that. All the series that High Roller sells seems to be priced right at that $100 mark, so I would assume these are going to be that price point as well. I'm telling you, these bags are unique, but they're unique in a good way. I really do think it's more of an advanced bag. You have to know what you're doing to be able to control and handle this bag, but if you can do that, I definitely see the advantages of this bag, because it is a little bit faster. And having a little bit of a faster bag, in my mind, is always a little bit better, because you get that drip and you get where it's going to carry all the way up to the hole, and it makes push throughs and whatnot just a little bit easier. It's just crazy that you still have all the abilities of that slower herringbone carpet with this series. And I just want to end this with, if you're going to be average or something, be average at cornhole.